the rapper Ghetts has pleaded guilty.
Tell that to Ghetts.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
So look, everyone wants to know what's going on with this Ghetts situation. It's just a sad situation all in all, but there has been some updates we can give you as this case proceeds now. It said on the BBC News, the rapper Ghetts is facing further charges of dangerous driving on the day he allegedly killed a young man in a hit-and-run collision. The award-winning musician, whose real name is Justin, allegedly failed to stop after his BMW hit that 20-year-old on the 18th of October. He was initially charged with just a single count of causing his death by dangerous driving. Now he faces 2 further charges of dangerous driving before and after the crash of the 18th of October. Apparently he was driving dangerously on other roads in Camden, North London, so he may have made off in a hurry, still driving erratically after the collision. As you go further down the article, you will see that's exactly what happened as he made off from this situation on his journey back home. The police attended the defendant's address early the next day, and the black BMW allegedly registered and insured in the defendant's name was said to have been significantly damaged, so the evidence was there straight away. As he appeared in court, he spoke to confirm his name. The victim's family were watching along. Right now he's remanded in custody and set to make a plea on the 8th of December. So yeah guys, as I expected he would, the British grime rapper, it said in the Daily Mail, has now pleaded guilty to killing a student in a hit-and-run crash that threw the victim up to 70 foot in the air. It's what's being alleged in this article, and it says the MC, whose real name is Justin Clark Samuel and stars in Netflix streaming series Supercell, hit the man while driving his black BMW M5 in Ilford, East London on that night of October 18th. Of course, it's such a serious offence. When they first took him in, he was remanded into prison, meaning he will stay there until they come to the conclusion of what happened here. So his prison time is starting from now, and he is going to remain behind bars from what we get into. They said a 20-year-old victim who loved studying in the UK and hip-hop music himself was flung in the air and had died in hospital 2 days after the crash. Ghetts appeared at the Old Bailey today via video link from HMP Pentonville wearing a green Lacoste polo shirt. He admitted causing death by dangerous driving as well as dangerous driving before the incident on roads in the borough of Islington, Camden and Hackney. As for the victim in this case, his family and 2 close friends were in court today, having travelled from his country. Ghetts, who has 13 previous convictions for 27 offences, was told it was inevitable that he'll be jailed for causing his death, so he'll continue right now to be on remand. Ghetts has not yet entered pleas to causing death by careless driving whilst over the alcohol limit on a further dangerous driving charge. He accepts he had drunk Hennessy and Coke at 9:30 p.m. He remains remanded in custody ahead of his sentencing, likely to be around February 12th. We will get exact number on what he's going to do behind bars. They talk about the victim being the only child sent to the UK by parents to study at university, the magistrates were previously told. His family said the victim was a very good person and a hip-hop fan and described him as their world. The victim was seen on CCTV walking along the road. He looked both ways and started to cross the road, and as he walked into the middle of the road, the black BMW registered to the defendant was travelling eastbound and collided with the victim. The victim landed on the floor and the BMW did not stop, kept travelling. A member of the public had been driving nearby and noticed the victim had been lying down with his head close to the pavement. When he got closer, he noticed the victim was bleeding. He asked if he was okay and he wasn't responding. It was almost as if he was trying to say something, but there was blood coming from his mouth. The CCTV that has come out and been posted across social media, we will not be posting here. These are obviously on your screen the moments before what happened. I'm not going to play the actual footage, but they have everything here they need to prove that Ghetts done this, the CCTV, and obviously the aftermath of the event when he went to his house. Another pedestrian saw a ransacked road and broken car parks. Ghetts had parked his BMW on another road about 10 to 15 minutes from the fatal hit and run, and police went to his house at 4:40 a.m. the next day. Police had found him at home with his girlfriend. The defendant opened the door and he was handcuffed, and the officers could smell alcohol liquid under his breath. He had been sleeping and was actually woken up by the officers. So there was hardly any time passed whatsoever for Ghetts to have the alcohol out of his system. When they brought him in, they would have done the breathalyzer test in police custody, and that's where they have the best one. Sometimes initially when you're pulled over on the road, they'll do a breathalyzer test. They may even bring you into custody to get a better examination of it, and I'm sure they did that with Ghetts here to make sure they had concrete evidence. The defendant asked officers what car he was supposed to be driving. They informed him they'll be conducting a search of his home address. He questioned why, and officers explained they were looking for his car key. He started shouting at the officers. The officers found the fixed penalty notice, a logbook, and the car key of the BMW in question. The BMW had significant damage on the front side. They say Ghetts had 13 previous convictions, 27 offences beginning with aggravated vehicle taking and burglary in 2001-2002. He has convictions for theft, robbery, assault, ABH, and has breached suspended sentences. His last conviction was actually for driving while disqualified in 2010. We've seen brutal driving offences over the years, and there's crashes every day all around the world, but when a celebrity is involved, it raises that awareness, and some people take accountability for their own actions. They may have risked it a couple of times over the years, drink driving, thinking they'll get away with it, but it just shows what can happen. And it was even brought up on a Sidemen's podcast recently, the clip I played at the start of this video, where it was saying you got to be accountable for your actions now, anything can happen when driving drunk.
Why don't we do drunk road trip?
Yeah.
But we go to like somewhere like the international
how would
waters.
that work?
You can do it in like Antarctica or in the North Pole, because you're if you're driving on the ice, you're in international waters.
True.
You actually can do it.
Well, I mean, like, you can just do it anywhere. It's just about if you
Tell that to Ghetts.
Oh Jesus,
Fucking
yeah.
hell.
Yeah, maybe don't do that, guys.
Yeah.
No,
We would not
obviously,
advocate
it's
for
a
doing the
fucking
drinking in the
funny
drag.
dark joke.
We don't even know what mind frame Ghetts was in when he was driving, if he knew that was a very serious collision, but there was always the possibility at first that the guy was going to survive. He was just in hospital. That's what he would have been told as he was brought into custody, and obviously the victim died a few days later, so this has grown in the gravity of the situation. The problem we have is people always think that they're the best driver and it would never happen to them, and Ghetts was that kind of guy that done the bikes, done the driving, and he even said in an interview he used it as his own therapy. This guy had a lot of experience on the road. It was his output, and he's ended up in this situation. So it can happen to anyone no matter their experience, especially when you're intoxicated.
What other practices do you have to keep your mind right?
It's gonna sound mad, innit? I like riding bikes and driving cars. That's sort of my thing. The other day, Rapid pulled up to the studio. He owns a big bike, 1,000 now, and I went on it just up and down the road, and I was like, oh, I just got that feeling back, like it's I don't know. It's so weird. It's like the faster you go, the slower life becomes. It's crazy, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, I'm still in love with bike riding and whatnot. But even like just spending time with my children, that helps me, man. I think that's what really keeps me balanced.
We could talk about Ghetts and his situation because that's still ongoing. He has a life to live, but the victim does not. Even people that are close to him, like Devlin, have been interviewed about this situation, asked their thoughts, and the main thing is the victim. He's the person that is never coming back now, so my thoughts are with his family.
I've got to touch on a little bit of a sensitive subject, that's Ghetts. Obviously what he's going through, do you want to pass any type of comment? Because obviously it's kind of a sensitive subject. I know you've known him for like 20, 30 odd years.
I don't know if it is my place to pass comment. I feel for the family that have lost their boys, that's terrible. And obviously I never wanted my pal in that predicament, but I don't think it's my place to chime in and start saying stuff.
And then when you see online, a lot of people are chiming in with their opinions. Do you think that's right or wrong? Because there's a lot of it going on, man.
Unfortunately, it's going to happen. If you're in the public eye and people know you, people are going to have opinions, people are going to throw in their pennies worth. But as I said, like, bless the young man that lost his life, and it's not a nice situation.
So what now can we expect? Total Crime has gave a rough indicator on what he could possibly get in prison. He said, I understand the rapper Ghetts, real name Justin, has pleaded guilty to causing the death of the victim by dangerous driving. I understand Ghetts will be sentenced in February. The maximum sentence was increased in 2013 from 14 years to life for the offence, but the likely range is between 2 and 18 years, and he will get maximum credit for an early guilty plea. I understand Ghetts accepts he failed to stop after the incident, which would be an aggravating factor, and that he drank alcohol before the incident. Whether he was over the limit at the time will be another aggregating factor at the sentencing. So I have to keep you guys updated. That will be a later date. It should right now be in February, but could possibly get adjourned. I mean, it's the least of his issues right now, but expected. He's also disqualified from driving, but the length of the ban is still to be decided. So right now, we don't know how long he's going to get in prison because there's a mix of aggregating factors and stuff that he's done, like plead guilty early, that will help him. If there's a range between 2 and 18 years for an offence, they'll go through and they will balance out all the things that's happened since and how he acted on that night as well. So we don't know right now the exact time. Anywhere between them dates, it's the judge you get on the day and them going through the sentencing guidelines to give the correct sentence, which we will keep you guys posted on next year. My guess would be somewhere in the middle of that range, just because there is a lot of aggregating factors. There's previous there's the way he acted and conducted himself on the night, but he's pleaded guilty early, so they got to knock that back as well. Maybe somewhere in the middle could be sentenced.